Stand up straight. Put your shoulders back. People have told me that most of my life. And I would do it for a few minutes, on and off for a couple hours, or maybe periodically for 3 days. But ultimately, it just felt uncomfortable and odd. So when I saw Danielle's Posture as Power class advertised, I signed up. I quickly learned from Danielle that posture is a process that starts with your feet, goes all the way up to your head. Specifically, my type of shoulder posture problem is alleviated greatly by stretching the muscles in my chest, working the muscles, exercising the muscles in my shoulders and back. So I think in the period of about 3 months, I've made a substantial improvement in my posture. Maybe just from here to here, but that's just 3 months. And considering this is a program for a lifetime, I'm expecting to see substantial improvement in the future. Danielle also gave me a weight training program that helps me not only with my posture, but it helped me with my lower body simply walking. It helped me with my upper body, and I can more easily do chores and home repairs. It also helped me with my bicycling strength and speed by building up my leg, glutes, etc. This video was made primarily for my classmates. It's a 1-hour class with a number of stretches and exercises. It's hard to remember them all. So I made this 15-minute video, which is a summary of a full 1-hour class. So you'll have to stop and start the video frequently, but eventually you'll become familiar with the exercises and you'll be able to do them all in 50 minutes. Check out the link below for Danielle's YouTube channel. Let's make this a lifetime endeavor to make our life better.
Put our arms out like this, a little softness in the knees, hips are forward. We're just going to squeeze the shoulder blades together and hold it for 5 seconds. And relax. And again, squeeze. Relax. I got my upper back against the wall. My arms are at 90 degrees. I'm trying to get my elbows back and my wrists up against the wall. And then I'm trying to lift. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'm pressing my lower back to the wall so this tightens up. It's just going back here. And then I'm relaxing it and pressing. And relax. Sit in the middle and you've got everything lined up. The idea is that you're sitting correctly. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to move our hips forward, good, and back. Hips forward and back. Let's do that 10 times. That's 3, 10. Okay, now I want to go side, center, side, center. Good. You feel all that movement going on in your hip, right? Our hips get really tight, and we don't tend to use them as we did when we were younger, believe it or not. Okay. And then circle the other way. Lower back. Your lower back is going to be on the ball. These are ball squats. I'll show you, in case you don't have a ball, we'll do it a different way, because you may not have a ball at home. Okay, so I'm leaning into the ball, right? Does that need to be a little lower, or are you comfortable with it there? There, okay. So I'm going to squat down and up. Okay, you need to take baby squats for you. So it's like, maybe just like this and up, right?
I didn't do my knee stretches before.
Okay. Sometimes stretching, by the way, and the reason we're doing the exercises first, or the reason we did the warm-up first, is because we don't stretch cold muscles. We only stretch muscles that have been warmed up and are allowed to be more flexible. If you stretch a cold muscle, the chances of you getting the flexibility you want or damaging something is greater. So we want to stretch something that is already warmed up, okay?
Use the wrong word. I mean,
All right, so skier squat, right? So we talked about putting that lower back against the wall. This is the same thing. Put that lower back against the wall. Get rid of the ball. Put your shoulders up against the wall. And that's it. Now, of course, the lower you go, and you don't want to go past 90 degrees, and you want to hold it. And yes, you're going to hear crunching in the knees. I certainly hear mine.
oh, holding it.
Yeah, so you want to hold it for maybe 30 seconds or 15. That's okay, you just do it as much as you can, but that's pretty good right there. Okay, so that's the one we can do at home if we don't have a ball. It's working your quads right here. Teaching us what our shoulder blades do. We did a expansion, I called it protraction, expansion, contraction of the shoulder blade. Expanding the shoulder blades out, contracting the shoulder blades. Doing it standing up, so it's an expansion and then a contraction. I like doing it to the wall because it just feels better to me, but it may not work for you all, so it's expansion of the shoulder blades forward or retraction or protraction actually, and then retracting the shoulder blades back, tightening the shoulder blades, which is the same movement, by the way, that you do when you do this, right? A row.
Yeah.
Bring in the shoulder blades. So here are my shoulder blades, right? They sit like here. So when I do this, they go like this. When I do this, they go in. Okay, so this is all you're doing here. What happens with us sometimes with kyphosis or when we get out of alignment in our upper back because of other things is our shoulder blades have learned to stay in this position out here. They have, and you are a very good example of that. You have a challenge bringing them together. And so we want to start training them to be able to do that again, okay? So it's squeezing the shoulder blades. The reason I said, not your shoulders, because I want to squeeze those shoulder blades with my rhomboids and not use my traps, which trapezius, to do anything. Because then I'm tightening this area and I'm not working the area between my shoulder blades, which is what I want to do. Okay? So we need to be conscious of keeping the shoulders down and squeezing. In fact, maybe just holding them like this, just so that it creates some consciousness in the shoulder blades, the shoulders, and then squeezing the blades together, squeezing them together. And notice that when I squeeze my shoulder blades together, the chest comes out. That's a good indication that I'm bringing the shoulder blades together, okay? Because it's going like this, so my chest is bound to come out a little. These are called L flies, by the way, because my arm is at an L and I'm flying out, if you will, okay? And it's just that rotation. Notice I'm not moving my body. The only thing that moves is actually my rotator cuff in the arm that goes along with it, right? I want to train the back of my neck muscles to pull my head back, right? Because a lot of us are getting kind of like this. So the exercise is not about pushing your head forward. I'm doing this, but this is not what I want to see. The exercise is about standing in my normal position. Again, as much as I hate to say this a million times, my feet are shoulders width apart, thank you. My knees have a little softness in them, and my hips are forward. This is the stance that I should have when I'm working out in the gym doing bicep curls or doing rotator cuff exercises or whatever. I want to have this as a stable base of support. Okay, so the turtle goes like this, right? I tuck in my chin towards the back of my head. Because, we're like monkey mind.
Yeah.
But just focusing on one thing. Well, it's true, jumping here, jumping there. And so when you do, here's another opportunity, speaking of mindfulness, is that when you do these exercises or stretches, you think about your body and where you're feeling this and where you're supposed to feel it. So it's can be a calming effect too, that being present in the moment, right? Okay. I want to keep the hips forward in the beginning. Oh, let's say, what do we say? Congratulations or something?
Yep.
Happy New Year!
Thank you.
Okay, that's good, and relax. So I got my feet flat on the mat. My arms are down to my side. My lower back's flat on the mat. I lift for 5 seconds. And then I go back down. And then lift. And down. Let's start with the opposite arm, opposite leg, and hold. And relax. And then hold and relax. Hold, relax, and hold, relax. You'll notice that you have one side that cooperates better than the other side. So here's another way we can do this exercise. And I'll tell you, I did this exercise many, many years ago with a client that I had that came in like this.
Oh my God.
Her daughter brought her into me. She was bent over like this and she used a cane. And this is what we did, and she stopped using the cane after I worked with her and she could go out and walk. So it must have had some benefit. And it's this one, so I'm actually lying down like this, and I'm lifting, doing the same exercise. You do have to keep your head off the ground, which may not be a bad idea because maybe it is strengthening the back of our neck anyway, right? Because I'm having to hold it up. So instead of that other exercise, if you did this one, you'd get, it's a double whammy. So for now, I'm just going to look up. Feel that stretch right here. So we're being mindful of where we're stretching. Then I'm going to look down. Okay, and then back to center. Then I'm going to look right. Back to center and look left. And back to center. Stretch where I hold on to the front of the chair. And I lean back. And you should feel this stretch, just the leaning back in your shoulders. Does anybody feel a pull in your shoulders?
Yes.
Which isn't a bad thing, it's a good thing. So let's just hold that for a few seconds. And then you're going to drop your head back. And just relax. So we're trying to stretch that piriformis muscle.
Yeah.
Let's go to the other side. And remember I said you have to sit up nice and straight for this one? Maybe you don't want to do that. You okay? Okay.
I just have to.
Against the wall. And my elbow and my wrist are touching the wall, and then I drop into the corner and hold. Okay, then you want to find a doorway perhaps, or you can do it here. And we're going to do this stretch where the arm is at 90 degrees. I step in and I turn. Did you get that? Okay. You lean into it. Yep, there, good. And you kind of want, I like to kind of turn and see where I feel the stretch more, and then I kind of let it marinate there. And I can feel that stretch all the way down to my lower back. Yeah. I don't know about you all. So the knee that I have down and my right arm are moving against the arm that I have grasping the bottom of the chair. So what it does is it causes me to forcibly stretch this area. So for me, my right leg's going down. Then I'm going to stretch the right side. You guys are probably on your left side. I pull up while pushing down. And I can even lean back a little and feel that too.